Welcome to our 14th annual Litter Law Enforcement Luncheon, presented by the City of Lake Charles and Team Green of Southwest Louisiana. We have the mission of developing and sponsoring projects which enhance the appearance and quality of our Southwest Louisiana environment year-round. The program's objectives today are to educate, to pique your interest, to increase your awareness, and of course to encourage personal involvement.
I wanted to elaborate a little bit on our mission. Enhance the environment can mean very many things, and one of them to us is to minimize the litter. Many of our annual events focus on removing litter from the community. A few of these are Adopt a Spot, Beach Sweep, Clean Campus, and Trash Bash. And if you have a pen handy, Trash Bash is April 17th this year. Team Green is also focused on recycling. The city has several recycling options. One is the roaming green truck. We have 3 recycling centers and a Mercury recycling location. We also have an opportunity this year to participate in something different, and that is a community garden.
We were fortunate last year and we won first place in the school student category from Keep America Beautiful, and with the help of Lillian Corn of the Quincy Chamber of Commerce, we all went to Washington, D.C., the students and 4 chaperones, to get the award. At the end of the program, the speaker made a comment. She said, there is one award I'd like to speak specifically about. I want to tell you about the students at the Quincy Elementary and what they're doing. And I really believe that what we're doing at the Quincy Elementary is leading the nation in education of the young, and that's what I want to share with you today. The first program, the Ultimate New Year's Resolution, involves 6 student actors and 5 elected officials. It dealt with the litter law and what happens when you receive a ticket and what happens when you go to court. Follow-up on the play included math program, math problems, dealing with how much that litter fine actually cost you, because it's not just the fine that you pay, but the time that you take off of work, the cost of going to court, and other related expenses. The second play we did, which was this year, is entitled The World Is Not Your Trash Can. We actually use litter to cover a lot of child-related issues. For example, the play is now made up of 5 very different characters. All these 5 work together to create what we call a 10 to win. 10 ideas that everybody can use every day to eliminate litter in their neighborhood. And none of them cost anything. And I can tell you from talking to kids at all grade levels, they understand litter. They understand it better now than they ever have. And in many cases, many of them know a lot more than their parents, and they're addressing their parents with the litter issues. So there are a lot of things that are done in addition to the play. The World Is Not Your Trash Can was actually about a 6-week lesson this year when you count the time that we began before the play with the word introductions and letting them know what they were going to see, the play, and then the follow-up. And I think we're doing a pretty good job at the Quincy Elementary with the kids and educating them.
I'd like to issue a proclamation which basically designates the time period from March 1 through May 31 of this year as Keep America Beautiful's Great American Cleanup Time, okay? So it gives you about a 90-day window to go out and help make our community look better. We're looking at relocating the drop-off site currently at the fire station off of Nelson Road, looking at another location to be a little bit more convenient. You'll be hearing more about that in the near future. You probably saw an article that talked about the introduction of a city ordinance to establish civil fines. This is an effort to kind of expand that concept of civil penalties and go beyond just litter to go into other code problems that we have. All we're proposing is that we be authorized to levy a civil fine as opposed to a criminal fine, authorize a code enforcement officer who is not a law enforcement officer to actually issue the ticket. We'll be providing more details to the City Council in the next couple of weeks, but I think that's going to be something that will be very beneficial and helpful. We have a Clean Campus contest on April 22nd and 23rd. We also do our phone book recycling contest with area schools. And we also, I want to recognize Eric Stevens. Eric and a group of folks in the community got together and are sponsoring an effort to clean Contraband Bayou. It's the Clean Bayou organization. That is a perfect example of what any organization in the community can do.
I used to work in New York City. I'd worked there for about 3 years, and it, at that time, was a dirty, filthy, crime-ridden place. I left New York and was out of there for maybe 10 or 15 years before I went back. And I was amazed at the turnaround. I could not believe that this was the same city. The areas that had been just strewn with litter and crime were now this economically vibrant neighborhood, and it was amazing. The mayor of New York City at the time and the police chief attributed a lot of the progress that they had made to adopting something they called the theory of the broken window. A broken window, or a littered sidewalk, or graffiti, does no harm to a neighborhood if promptly addressed. But left untended, it sends a signal that no one cares about this neighborhood, that it is a safe place to break things, to litter, to vandalize. That process is reversible. They started tending immediately to the small things. When there was litter, it got attended to. There was either through enforcement or actually action to clean it up. They reversed that entire cycle, and I would not have believed it had I not returned to the scene and seen it for myself. There's a very close tie, as I'm sure all of you understand, between the way your city looks and your ability to be able to sell that, to market your city. This speaks to the quality of life of an area. And the quality of life is ultimately connected to its economic stability as well. We have got to deal with the little things.
Several weeks ago, we were out on the water, and the trash that has accumulated along Contraband Bayou just sort of overwhelmed us, and we put together this organization called Clean Bayou. What we hope to accomplish is to get rid of the trash that is on the banks and then spread that, hopefully, so that we can include Lake Charles Lake, Prien Lake, Calcasieu River, Moss Lake, and create a water-based cleanup that we can hold annually on or about the same day. Our first project is the Contraband Bayou cleanup. It's April the 24th, and we're going to hold it out of Bowtie Marina. What our plan is to section off the bayou into different areas. We have about 30 to 40 14-foot skiffs with 3 people in each, and we're going to launch out at about 8 o'clock in the morning, and everybody's going to have a spot to clean. We'd love to have anybody volunteer. We're on Facebook. Our Facebook page is Clean Bayou if you type it in the search bar. We also have a website, which is www.cleanbayouswla.org. And if you want to send us an email, we are at info@cleanbayouswla.org.
We've just entered into an agreement with the State Wildlife and Fisheries Department to also help all of the other agencies with litter enforcement. We had over 2,000 calls to the litter hotline last year alone. When someone reports someone littering, it's an anonymous situation. All we need is the license plate. We're able to send a strongly worded message from the sheriff's office and the police jury telling them of how they've been caught, this person's been caught for littering. It takes the community to be able to have a successful litter program, not just with the parish, but throughout all of Southwest Louisiana. And so that hotline is a great tool for you as a community to be able to let the litterers of the world know. If you pull up on the side of a car and you think about throwing out that cigarette butt, just think about the person that's next to you or behind you that might see you and report you. We are also applying with Keep America Beautiful to become an affiliate as well. To help support Team Green, we're going to be Keep Calcasieu Beautiful, and we're going to help all of the rural areas and work with hopefully Team Green. We're not going to get the litter problem solved overnight. It's going to take several years. It's going to take a change of habits, but the police jury is very committed to this, and we're not going to stop until we see a difference. So thank you very much.